Mo Farah forced to settle for 5,000 meters silver in final major track race. After 6 years, 10 straight global titles and 4 double golds, they finally found a way to beat him in his last big track race. Sir Mo Farah's conqueror even had the audacity to celebrate with a Mobot as Britain's most successful track field athlete collapsed to the floor in tears. His shock was shared by 56,000 people packed into the London Stadium who came to witness history repeat itself 5 years on from Farah's glorious Olympic 5,000 meters and 10,000 meters double at the same venue. But just as with Usain Bolt in his farewell 100 meters exactly a week earlier, Farah's final big 5,000 meters proved a race too far. "I had tears in my eyes," he said afterwards. "Never had that before. I felt, wow. It's been an amazing journey. To achieve what I have achieved through the years has been incredible. And to end it in London, what a way. This is where it all started and I got a little emotional because I look at my family, I look at what I've done and it gets to you because, at the end of the day, I'm just a human." Indeed, there was no shame in defeat in a contest where Farah's rivals once again made dethroning him their #1 priority. Finishing behind Ethiopia's Muktar Edris even made the Britain's achievement in winning an unprecedented 10 successive major championship titles all the more impressive. "If you look at the history doesn't lie," he said. "What I've achieved for the last 6-7 years has been incredible and it just shows what kind of person I am and what it takes to be champion." For Farah, the warning signs had been there in a brutal 10,000 meters 8 days earlier, when the Kenyans and Ethiopians threw everything at him. This time, it appeared they were handing him the race on a plate, with laps being completed at jogging pace but for a couple of half-hearted breakaways and victory seemingly there for the taking for the man with the fastest finish in the field. But it was a double bluff. With a lap remaining, Edris and his fellow Ethiopians Yomif Kejulcha and Seleman Bega surged to the front, boxing in Farah, who went into the home straight in 4th place with no chance of gold and with it all to do to claim silver. Unlike a week earlier, when there was an obvious pantomime villain to jeer and Justin Gatlin when Bolt was beaten into 3rd, the crowd were not sure how to react. As Farah got to his feet, they rightly gave him the ovation his efforts on Saturday night. He finally ended Great Britain's London 2017 medal drought, and over the previous 6 years deserved. Admitting he had been outmaneuvered, Farah said, "I got boxed in early on. It doesn't normally happen, but I got boxed in early and couldn't get out." Claiming to have been tired after his 10,000 meters exertions and 5,000 meters heats, he added, "Without watching the race, it's difficult to say, I did this wrong and that wrong. I know myself, when I crossed the line, there was nothing left of me. There was nothing left of me. I gave it all." He refused to criticize the Ethiopians' tactics or Edris's Mobot, which he said he saw as a sign of respect. "You have to give credit to Edris. They had a game plan and it was 3 against 1, he added. They had to sacrifice one of them and it was Kejulcha, who didn't get a medal. Edris sat at the back, and did as little work as possible to then hit me on the last lap. That was their plan." It had been a party atmosphere before then, a Mexican ovation following Farah around the track as the laps counted down. He and they had every reason to feel confident. Farah had looked imperious in winning the 10,000 meters, conducting the crowd in the middle of the race and shrugging off bumps and bruises to run his second quickest time ever. He was all smiles when he took to the track last night, waving regally to the stands before playfully shadowboxing and beating his chest to the cameras. But it was Edris who had the last laugh, the 23-year-old saying afterwards, "I was highly prepared for this race and I knew I was going to beat Mo Farah." After the 10 kilometers, he was maybe tired so he did not have enough for the last kick. "I was stronger. Mo has many victories but now I have one. I am the new champion for Ethiopia. That's why I did the Mobot. I am the next champion. I have won the gold in front of his home crowd. I didn't have much support, but we did it. I did the Mobot out of respect as well for him." Kenya-born Paul Chelimo, who claimed bronze for USA, said, "I think the Ethiopians had a plan because I think Kedulcha was out there to push the pace early and try and dampen Mo Farah's kick." Farah has 2 more races left on the track this month before seeing out what remains of his career on the road. "It's been amazing," he said. "It's been a long journey, but it's been incredible. It doesn't quite sink in until you compete here and cross the line. I had a couple of minutes to myself, that this is it." Farah also reflected on his incredible transformation since appointing the controversial Alberto Salazar as his coach in 2011. Admitting he had considered quitting the sport beforehand, he said, "I had to make the decision to make it. That meant moving to the other side of the world. But nothing was guaranteed." On his future plans, he added, "I've a few more races planned. After that, I want to take a break then see what I can do on the road. But in terms of my life, this chapter's done. It's closed. This is it. Track is done." 8:55 p.m. Not to be. A silver then to go with Farah's many golds. What a career he has had. Thanks for following our updates. 8:49 p.m. Still time for autographs. Farah, to his credit, not rushing to get off the track, signing as many autographs as he can and taking a number of selfies, including one with of all people Linford Christie. 8:47 p.m. Edris tribute. The new world champion after crossing the line, busting out the Mobot. Cracking gesture that, before trying to pick up a distraught Farah. 8:45 p.m. Farah lapping the stadium. At a gentle pace, Farah is heading around the track and waving to the spectator. You can see how frustrated he is and you imagine it will take some time for him to accept this outcome. 8:43 p.m. The result. Times are in, Kedulcha and Bega missing out on the medals. 8:41 p.m. The finish. Farah realized he couldn't take the gold but put in everything to make sure he pipped Chelimo for silver, a rarity in his collection but a medal well worth the effort he put in down the stretch. 8:39 p.m. Edris pulls through. Lovely touch that from Edris to come straight over to Farah there. He timed his sprint down the straight perfectly after he and Kedulcha put enough space between themselves and Farah with Chelimo right in the mix too. 8:37 p.m. Farah exhausted. The double Olympic champions collapses to the track, hands over his head. We know how much he hates losing and you can see it on his face there, as Edris comes over to embrace him. 8:36 p.m. Edris takes 5,000 gold. Farah silver. Farah with work to do, he's never won from here. Chasing down Kedulcha and Chelimo comes as well. Farah boxed in, can Farah come down the inside? No. Edris will get it. Farah silver. 8:35 p.m. Last lap. Kedulcha up the with Farah and the Ethiopians are coming. Farah in third and chasing. 8:34 p.m. 4,000 meters. Bold run from the Australian, Patrick Tiernan, who has opened up some space there but is unlikely to sustain that until the end. Farah having a go at Bega for getting in his way but no real danger, 4 laps left now. 62.8 for that lap, pace increasing. Tiernan still out ahead. Farah will love this you sense, as will the Aussie when he tells it to his grandkids. Things starting to heat up. Butchart hammers up the inside and Tiernan is gone, as Farah and Butchart go. 8:31 p.m. 3,000 meters. Bega having a go now, opening up a big gap between himself and the field this early in the race with 7 laps left. Slows it down now, perhaps wary of how far there is to go. Quicker lap that time, down to 64 seconds, before the field slows. Farah looks in control, back to the front with Ruo alongside him, before Chelimo comes through to take up the lead. 8:28 p.m. 2,000 meters. Butchart and Farah at the front, Ru'o and Chalimo in behind. Very gentle so far as Edris comes through to join them. No one looking to do too much at this stage. As Edris takes up the lead, his minimal running action making this look an absolute breeze. The slower you sense the better for Farah, given his worries about fatigue earlier in the week and given the speed of his kick. 8 laps to go, he remains near the front and without a worry. 8:25 p.m. 1,000 meters. Pace so far nice and easy as Butchart comes up to join Farah, the fast first lap followed by a steady second, around 70 seconds as they come down the straight. 8:23 p.m. Opening strides. Farah taking his time as expected early on, with Chalimo taking up the early lead. Farah sitting in about second. 8:22 p.m. They're off. Runners asked to stand back as then lean down, getting a ripple out of the crowd. And away they go. 8:21 p.m. Huge roar. Massive reception as you would expect for Farah, who looks pumped up patting his chest. 8:20 p.m. At the start line. Not long now as the runners assemble. 8:11 p.m. Fellow Brit. Can't forget to mention Andrew Butchart either, with the Scot also in the 15-strong final and impressing in the semi-final. Here's a profile on the impressive 25-year-old. 00 p.m. The competition. To be clear, winning this race is not exactly a given for Farah. There are plenty of challenges, which in fact is what you want rather than a procession. The semi-finals were certainly feisty with a number of athletes knocking into each other. Yomif Kejilcha and Matra Edris are old rivals of Farah's, both from Ethiopia, with Kejilcha winning their semi-final. Steve Cram, in the BBC studio, has also earmarked Suleiman Biga also from Ethiopia as an unknown threat. 7:54 p.m. Rio Gold. Footage of a clean-shaven Mo Farah here, which looks a bit odd for some reason, triumphing in the 2016 Olympics in Rio for his second 5,000 meters gold. 7:51 p.m. Mo memories. Not easy to pick out a favorite Farah race. The 2012 5,000 meters probably edges it for me, but send yours and all ridiculous hashtags for the evening to @bencoles_ on Twitter or ben.coles@telegraph.co.uk. 7:43 p.m. Heat results. Quick reminder of the times from Wednesday's heats, with Farah qualifying as one of first 5 in his semi-final, which as you can see was much slower than the other heat. 7:35 p.m. Farah's legacy. No doubting Farah's medals haul makes one of the great British athletes of all time, but is he an athletics legend? Kelly Sotherton, the Olympic and World Championships medalist, gives her thoughts here. 7:25 p.m. Preview. What is happening? Sir Mo Farah is set to take to the track for the final time in his illustrious career in the final of the men's 5,000 meters. When is it? On Saturday, August 12th. What time does it start? The final of the men's 5,000 meters is scheduled to take place at 8:20 p.m. on Saturday night. What is the latest news? Farah goes into the race with a chance of completing a memorable golden double at the London Championships, having already won gold in the 10,000 meters last Friday. The final of the men's 5,000 meters is scheduled to take place at 8:20 p.m. on Saturday night. Victory here will be a 4th consecutive 5,000 meters win at the World Championships. The race comes less than a week after Farah won gold in the men's 10,000 meters, overcoming 3 stumbles in the final lap. It was amazing. I had to get my head around it and I got a bit emotional at the start. I had to get in the zone, Farah said as left the track in the same euphoric state as 5 years ago. It wasn't an easy race. I work on everything, and it's been a long journey. What a way to end my career in London. It's special. Farah has 7 medals at the World Championships, 6 gold and 1 silver, one between 2011 in Daegu and 2017 in London. The 34-year-old is determined to end his track career with a gold medal after watching Usain Bolt take bronze in his final individual race. You've seen it with Usain Bolt, it happens. It would have been nice to see him win, but it didn't happen, and no one is going to give it to you, no matter who you are, even Usain Bolt, said Farah. I just have to now focus on myself and get ready. It would be pretty amazing, no one has ever done it. It would mean the world to me, but at the same time I don't take it for granted. Those boys are coming for me, they are hungry. You could see in the heat, they wanted to prove a point and show me. I'm going to do it. You'll see me at the start line. I just have to recover. Farah came through his heat in a rain-soaked London stadium of Wednesday night. I'm cold, it's miserable out there, but it's job done. I had to get back into some kind of running again. It's been 5 days of chilling out and recovering. The 10K did take a lot out of me and I'm a little beaten up, but I'm okay. I'm glad I've qualified and will get ready for the final. Farah also played down any fears over his fitness ahead of Saturday night's swan song. The knee's all right, the body is a bit tired, that's all. I just have to recover now and get in the zone and switch off, turn off the lights, he said. What are the odds of a Farah victory? Very slim. Briggs are offering odds of 2-5 that Farah wins to complete the London 2017 double.